About 5 hours.
Mm-hmm. And where do they sleep? Where do they eat? Like, you can particularly.
Well, there's about 2,000 members. Well, 1,500 members, but then they're all allowed a guest. So tops, though, I'm told everybody doesn't bring a guest. It's around 2,500 people are there, and another 500 servants or so, bartenders, musicians, stuff like that. And so each club, that's a big outdoor dining hall where a lot of the groups get together for communal dinner before the ritual. Shot that video down over a ridge. But individuals sleep in their camps. They have bunks. Some of the camps are pretty primitive and they have tents, but most of them are buildings. Like there's the chateau. The chateau is a communal area where they bragged, they planned the Manhattan Project for the A-bomb there. They planned the Star Wars project in the late 70s, Strategic Defense Initiative, Star Wars. They planned a lot of other things there. They have the lakeside political chats where they really, not just the ritual, that's almost a side issue. The main issue is they're really setting policy in there. This is the power elite getting together in this lovely atmosphere of old, dense, old-growth redwoods. And that's the little lake that at the head of it has this owl that they do the ritual in front of.
Mm-hmm. Can you show me the breach, like you described in the movie? What was this small kind of, that's not breach, what was that? Kind of platform, wooden platform in the middle of the lake? I don't know, they jump from it or what?
Yeah, that's where they swim. See, there's only one entrance to the gorge, but there's stairs down the cliff to an area where they swim. And but here's some daytime shots. There's the altar. There's the Aladdin's lamp. There's the idol. And this is all shot with hidden camera. But this is the Moloch idol during the day.
And so again, what was the scariest, and what is the scariest thing for you that you found out maybe about the government? And is it scary for you to?
Well, it's just that the people that control the nuclear button, that have the nuclear football, that have 10,000 warheads, and that run so much of our lives, are obsessed with the occult. I've also talked to widows of Bohemian Grove members off record, but they've sent me, inside Bohemian Grove member yearbooks. Every decade they come out. And I've talked to wives independently, separately, after their husbands die, who say that he had little owls all over the house. He worshipped them. He was obsessed with the Grove, obsessed with numerology, obsessed with the occult. That powerful people aren't making decisions. It's like Ronald Reagan. This is admitted. His astrologers admitted it. Every decision he made, down to the tie he wore, to the minute he gave a speech, to when he met somebody, was off astrology. And then now Hillary Clinton has Indian shaman telling her everything to do. Well, that's just the surface. Making decisions off of this stuff, that's scary. Once we got up there, we were simply, with our hidden camera, videotaping some, and then a security guard came, but we turned our camera had actually run out of tape at that point, and he said, "We saw you videotaping." So they later admitted, and now they've said in the news, there's surveillance cameras hidden everywhere. So right now, we are on the back side of the grove, at the end of the gorge, overlooking the Russian River, and I'll go back to it.
We had already been questioned 3 separate times by the Bohemian Club's security, Secret Service, and Sonoma County Sheriff's Department.
This is where your Christian conservative leaders, they pose as that, go. A lot of liberals too, but mainly Republican. Bill Clinton's gone and others. Tony Blair's been there. And they, according to all the press reports, there are some female prostitutes that fly in. The airport there gets packed. And Santa Rosa, 20 miles away, but mainly it's 2-to-1 male prostitutes. I guess these guys have had all the women and they want something different. But yeah, this is mainly male prostitutes.
So do they have sex on that platform or what?
Oh no, I doubt that, because it's public property and other people's property across the river, so people would see that. But no, we were showing a San Francisco Chronicle photo and an article in Spy Magazine about that article, showing all the men out there in a black and white photo from the 70s. And so they were. I was reporting there about news reports about their homosexual behaviors.
So who in particular was homosexual? Who was spotted in homosexual behavior?
You were asking that earlier. The press doesn't, you know, even though these reports are there, they don't name names. The New York Post reported on, you know, top gay porn stars, services moguls at Bohemian Grove, but they don't say who they're servicing. That's a good way to get, you know. Plus, it ruins people's lives. We're not trying to ruin people's lives here. The point is it's well known they bring in male prostitutes. Just like it's well known the White House brings them in at night, and that's been in the press. We don't know who's, you know, in their tents doing what. But I don't think they're out in the middle of the river having sex, if that's your question. Incidentally, we saw grounds workers laughing at us and old men saying things to us. I knew about the Grove, but I didn't know as much as I now know that they thought, and I was a lot skinnier and so was Mike then, we're both pretty good looking guys, they thought we were like male prostitutes. So that's also what really saved us. When the bus pulls up and these old men are getting on it in the parking lot that we had to sneak past a checkpoint to get onto, but there are more checkpoints, the old men are like, hey, how you guys doing? Because it's I'm not saying they were gay, but most of them in there are, and it's been in the news. They bust in male prostitutes, top gay porn stars, you know, quote, service them. You've seen my film.
Who do you think actually homosexual among the Bush administration?
Well, I'm not going to sit here and name names in the Bush administration of who's homosexual or who's not. I happen to know who the homosexuals are. The Republican Party chairman just had to resign over it coming out. It's happened with a bunch of other top Republicans, congressmen. It's been all over the news. But the news hasn't broken who in the administration is, but frankly, most of them.
Bush, no?
Most of them are. And male prostitutes have been brought in. Jeff Gannon, did you hear about that? There's all these male prostitutes in there, and they're there, and this is what they do. I'm in the darkness, see their feet, walking up. And then there are the old men in front of me as I've got my hidden camera trying to guess where the ritual is going to happen. Out across the water, the owl's out there in the darkness. The Moloch deity. And there's the only other photo ever smuggled out before we got in there.
The occult activities are coming up. And then after the actual ritual, we're going to give you some more of the history.
So here in the film, I'm just giving people some background. And that's the program cover that they handed out to people. It's all done in a stylistic theater way. And I'm showing some of their own annuals, internal Bohemian Grove publications that show the ritual. And then I'll walk you through what happens. You're all standing out there for about 30 minutes in the dark, and there's bats flying around grabbing bugs over the water, and it's all dark. You can't see the idol. And then all of a sudden, torches come out of the woods. And then, hail Bohemians, the high priest has a discussion about destroying care. It's a ritual, and this is like in real black magic books and in old histories about the occult groups of the past, that they do a sacrifice to put all their problems and cares and kind of bad karma on it. That's what's so scary. This isn't just you wish it was just a big joke, but it's not. They're taking it so serious, and it's deeply occult. You know, Christians would think of the occult as people in red pajamas like Anton LaVey running around with pitchforks. But in reality, they believe it's God, and they do it with a lot of pageantry. That's where the theater, that's where the stage comes from, is that people in the past, thousands of years ago, did rituals up on a stage above the throng, above the crowds. There's also a lot of death motifs, a lot of skulls on big signs. Lafitte the pirate, he was an Illuminati pirate that helped the U.S. against England. There's a still shot off the video of the old men. But here's the crowd of people in front of me.
Can you put the sound down?
Sure. Here's the crowd of people in front of me before it starts.
Let me get you.